Hello, everyone. Thank you for listening and watching another episode of the Football Betting Podcast with me, Tom Pipkin, my co host, Tom Walker, and we are back this week for a little mini pod full of League One and League Two, whilst the rest of the leagues are on international break. How you doing, Tom? Are you looking forward to this little bite size?
Yeah, I am. I always think it's a great opportunity for new listeners to the pod
Hmm.
to kind of take in a bite size show rather than like a 45-minute to an hour show. And yeah, excited to, the next international break isn't until November 17th. So we'll have, 3-4 weeks again of domestic football before it's back. So yeah, got one eye on the return of a full slate as well.
Yeah, you're spot on. We're going to go through pretty much what we usually do, but just for Leagues One and League Two. So we've got 4 games in League One. We'll cast our eye over those to see if there's anything we like. It's skinny pickings in League One, can't lie. And then we'll go through League Two, picking out our betting highlights from there, and it's much more fruitful for things to pick from in League Two. Um, yeah, then we'll bundle it all up in the end in a bomb-proof treble, and we'll recap last week's bomb-proof treble as well. So let's crack straight on and go straight into League One. Let's waste no time, no messing around this week. We've got 4 games, like I mentioned: Blackpool, Stevenage, Cambridge, Shrewsbury, Carlisle, Leighton Orient, Lincoln, Burton. To be honest, lots of those could be put in the category of coin toss.
Hmm.
Um, is there anything out the 4 that you like or not?
I mean, I'm kind of leaning. They've not won in their last 6 games, but I'm kind of leaning towards Cambridge to beat Shrewsbury at even money. Um, I'm worried about Shrewsbury, to be honest with you.
Mm.
Cambridge have a better home record than teams like Stevenage, Leighton Orient, Port Vale, Burton Albion, Exeter, Barnsley, Wigan, Derby. Like, Cambridge have an upper mid-table home record with 10 points yielded from 6 games, and Shrewsbury have the fourth worst away record. They've only managed 3 points on the road this season. A lot of their points come in at home. They've won one on the road and lost four rather than 3 draws. They've only actually scored one on the road so far as well. So yeah, not exactly the best travellers. And, Cambridge have been struggling, but I'm more worried about Shrewsbury for sure. So, yeah, Cambridge for me, 2.05 might be worth a look.
Yeah, they've only scored one in their last 6 games. Never mind, just one at home, one away from home.
Rubbish.
Sorry. Yeah, they really struggle, don't they, to hit the back of the net. So
Mm.
I think, yeah, always got to look, haven't we? If there's a team who struggled to score a goal, you know, and Cambridge are decent at home, they probably look like the pick of the bunch there in League One. Lincoln are probably the other team at 1.95, but I'm not massively confident because Burton are now unbeaten in 6. They've started to turn their form around after they started really slowly. Um, Lincoln very good at home, but it's just the fact that Burton are starting to put things together now. Worries me a little bit about this one. Not particularly confident enough to throw it out there as a tip, if you like, but yeah, maybe Lincoln are the other one in League One for me. Um, shall we go just straight into League Two? I think there's much more to talk through in League Two. It's probably worth our time spending a bit more time there.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'll get us kicked off with the Nottinghamshire Derby. It's a early kickoff. It's at 12:30. Notts and Mansfield, two teams that I fully expect to be towards the top end of League Two towards the end of the season. This is the first time they've met each other in the league since 2019, with Notts County going down to the National League for a couple of seasons, as we all know by now. Uh, I wanted both teams to score, but it's 1.53.
Mm.
So I'm really trying to kind of extend on that in terms of getting a result for you guys as well. I think Notts County are good enough to get a win here with both teams to score, which is 4.0. Apart from that 5-0 battering on the opening day, which was absolutely crazy looking back against Sutton. Notts County top of the home form table. They've played 2 games less than Crawley, who have the same points as them. Crawley have played 7 games. Notts County have played 5. So you can see how strong their PPG is at Meadow Lane. And listen, I really rate Mansfield. I really, really do. They got the best defence in the entire league. But for me, Notts County have that extra. They have that extra zip. I think Mansfield might be a bit more settled and a bit more of a unit. But I think if you're looking at Stardust and who can win a game, Notts County for me. And then, yeah, the both teams to score basically comes from the fact that these two have scored 27 in Notts' case and 17 in Mansfield's case over their 12 games.
Mm. Yeah, I was looking at this game, kind of and ahhing about where to go result wise. I think the two most likely results for me are, like you say, a Notts County win or even a draw. Mansfield have drawn 5 of their 6 away games, and they've all been score draws. There's 2 2-alls and 3 1-alls there. Um, so I could see that as well, a score draw or Notts County to win and both teams to score. Mansfield are a funny side, aren't they? They're doing well. They're unbeaten in a lot of games. They're the only unbeaten side in the entire football league.
Hmm.
Um, but they've drawn 8 of their 12 games. So yeah, need to start converting some of those draws to wins, really, don't they? But yeah, they're on a good run.
Yep.
Um, what shall we sink our teeth into next then? Let's look at Crew at home to Tranmere. I'm a big fan of Crew, and I feel like
Hmm.
they're kind of low key doing very well and are a good side to bet on. They're kind of getting lost amongst the shuffle of your counties, Wrexham, Stockports, etc., etc. Crew have played 12 games this season. They've scored at least 2 goals in 11 of those 12 games. They're actually the highest scorers in League Two, which might be a surprise to some, considering, like I say, you've got Notts County in there, big scoring, Wrexham, big scoring, Swindon, Stockport, all big scoring teams. But Crew consistently two, 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 two,
Hmm.
odd 3, odd 4. So at home against the Tranmere side, who have picked up a little bit in recent weeks, but they're still in 22nd in the league. They've only won 3 of their 12 games, lost 8. Crew, I'm pretty confident will score at least 2 again here. And I just can't see Tranmere scoring 2. So at 1.95 for Crew on the nose looks a good bet. Alternatively, you could just go Crew to score 2 or more goals.
Hmm.
I can see that one coming in again.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Crew kind of under the radar. You definitely won't be getting these prices if it was Wrexham with the same players and the same form and the
Yeah.
same opponent, right? So
Yep.
yeah, it's good to see. Tom, the pod is taking a complete 180 because
Ooh,
I am backing Colchester United
crikey. Okay.
after seasons and seasons and seasons of going against Col U, and for the most part successfully. I'm turning the ship around and I'm actually backing them away at Forest Green. Tom, I don't know if you knew this, but Forest Green have a 0% record at home so far.
That's bloody
Meaning,
terrible, isn't it?
yeah, played 6, lost 6. No draws, nothing like that. Straight 6 losses. They've only scored 4 goals in that time at home. And they're bringing the Colchester side to town, who, are definitely improving. They're 21st right now, but I think Ben Garner's actually got like a decent project going there and some decent players. I think for the first time in a long time, the club is actually moving in the right direction. Um, they have managed to score quite a few goals, which is great. They've only actually failed to score on 2 occasions, in their last 9 games, notching at least one. And yeah, this is a lot about Forest Green, who have been really poor at home. They've lost last time out against Morecambe. They've lost to Doncaster when they were in there tough spot. Crew, who you mentioned, Tom, battered them 4-1. They lost 3-0 at home to Newport, which I think is the worst of the bunch. Can go on and on. But yeah, Forest Green really struggling. Colchester, favourites against a team with a 0% home record. They're priced at 2.7.
Yeah, I like that. Decent price there for Colchester.
Hmm.
I don't really know what's quite gone so wrong with Forest Green. I didn't think they'd set the league alight this year, but certainly didn't think they'd be rock bottom
Yeah.
with such a bad record. But yeah, well, stick that in your pipe, Dale Vince. Eh?
Hmm.
Anyway, let's look at Swindon at home to Newport. Swindon price this weekend at 1.75 for the victory. They're coming off a tough couple of weeks of Swindon. They've lost three in a row across all competitions. Um, they've had away games back to back against Notts County and Bradford, lost them both. Um, Back at home this weekend against a Newport side who aren't particularly playing very well. And at home this season, they've won four on the bounce and they've scored plenty of goals. Six past Crawley, five past Sutton, and then two past each of Walsall and Grimsby. So back at home, where they're much better, scoring plenty of goals compared to this really patchy away form. I think they can certainly overcome a Newport side who are struggling. They've lost four out of their five league games so far this season, conceded at least two goals in each of those losses. The only away game they've won, like you just mentioned, away at Forest Green. Lost all the others to Accrington, conceded three, Crewe conceded four, Crawley conceded four, and Salford conceded two. So, yeah, pretty pants away form there. And Swindon, with their really good home form, I'm pretty confident can get the 3 points here.
Both teams to score in Wrexham Salford seems pretty nailed on. It's 1.61. Surprisingly, a better price than Notts and Mansfield, which I found very interesting. But yeah, this is the Sky Sports EFL love affair club derby, isn't it? Really,
It is,
Salford.
isn't it?
Yeah, Salford, the toy that Sky don't really want to play with anymore against
Yeah.
the new shiny one in Wrexham.
Yeah.
Obviously, Wrexham in seventh, doing really well. Salford, they've picked up recently. They were going through an absolutely disastrous run of form. They've won three consecutive league games. Yes, they lost to Stockport in the Pizza Cup, but we don't read too much into that. And yeah, in that time, Salford have managed to hit the back of the net at plenty. In their last four games, they've scored at least two in the league, and on one occasion notching four against your Crew boys, Tom. And I mean, I don't know if I need to go into how many goals Wrexham have scored this season. 58.33% of Wrexham's games also go over 2.5. In terms of their home games, it's 100%. Every single game has gone over 2.5. Salford do buck the trend. Only a third of their games have gone overs on the road, but I think we're looking at a different Salford side now who have kind of unlocked their attacking potential now. 2.5, by the way, if you want to go overs, is 1.53. I think both are safe bets at pretty skinny prices.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised here that you've not chucked out Salford on the nose because you usually like these kind of teams away at Wrexham who are big odds, who are capable of getting something.
Yes.
Um, I I think I agree with you. Both teams to score absolutely over 2.5. Yes, I think it's going to be a really entertaining game. I like Salford to score over 1.5 goals, so that's two or more. It's priced at 3.4. And like you said, Wrexham's home form, they conceded five to MK Dons, they conceded two to Walsall, five to Swindon, three to Crewe. So that's only in six games. So Salford are more than capable, considering that kind of leaky defensive home form, of getting two, I believe, at 3.1, at 3.4.
Yeah, Salford,
I could see a
Tom.
really great game anyway.
Yeah, you are right. Salford do deserve a shout at 6.0. Honestly, I think I'm just getting greedy, and I think I looked at it and just thought do you know what? I'm used to getting eights and nines and tens and 11s. And I've kind of
Yeah.
lost sight that Salford at 6.0 will not happen again this season. So,
No.
yeah,
No,
worth an
absolutely
outside look.
right. Okay. Right. What else we got here? Stockport. We need to talk about.
Yeah.
They're away at Harrogate this weekend. Stockport priced at 1.75 to get the victory. Up to second in the league now. The train keeps rumbling on. 7 consecutive victories. That is across all competitions. 6 consecutive wins in the league. You've just got to keep back of them, haven't we, at the moment, because they're in such good form. And I appreciate Harrogate have started to turn things around a bit. They've won 3 of the last 4 games. 2 of those wins have been away from home, so maybe you could say they're playing better away at the moment than at home, which favours again Stockport this weekend.
Hmm.
But yeah, the Stockport are just knocking aside all comers, aren't they, at the
Yeah.
moment?
Yeah.
Teams that we perceive to be very good at this level, just swiping
Yeah.
aside like they're nothing. So got to stick with Stockport until it ends.
Yeah, Donny Rovers for me at 1.95 represents some decent value because again we're playing against a team with a 0% record. That is Sutton away from home. Played 5, lost 5, scored just 6 goals, conceded 17. The goal difference, you guessed it, minus 11. And yeah, Donny, like I've been a fan of Doncaster all season through the good and the bad. They have lost their last 2 consecutive games, but I'm not too worried. One was in the Pizza Cup to Mansfield 3-2, and one was in the league away at Stockport 1-0. I think we're both aware that Mansfield and Stockport should be in the top 7 by the end of the season, and I'd be amazed if Sutton were to be anywhere near that. They are currently 23rd. They've won just 2 of their 12 season opening games, and yeah, for me, Doncaster, the much better side, despite a tiny wobble after eventually improving.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. No more really from me. We've covered quite a few there. I'm glad. I'm glad there's plenty in League Two because after there not being much in League One, it would have been a very very short pod. Otherwise,
Mm.
do you want to cover anything else?
No, no, happy to move on to last week's treble in a quick recap. It was, I would say, probably the most painful loss of the season. New listeners will not know that me and Tom are big Nottingham Forest fans, and sometimes we put that love affair for Forest aside. Sometimes it also blinds us when when we're reading out tips. But yeah, we put it aside and we backed Derby County, our biggest rivals, away at Cheltenham, and they cost a bloody treble. So, to recap in full, we had Portsmouth to beat Port Vale. They did so 2-0. We had Leicester, another one of our rivals, 2-0. We had them to beat Stoke. They won 2-0. And then Derby away at Cheltenham. Cheltenham scoring the first bloody goal of the season. 12 games it took them to get a goal. Of course, it was when we went against them on the treble. Derby went 1-0 down, managed to get a goal back, but ultimately drew 1-1 and absolutely blew the treble to smithereens. I
Yeah.
hate them so much.
Yeah, well, it had to be Derby for one, and for two, I think Cheltenham fans all owe us a beer or something, don't they? Because, like you say,
100%.
as soon as we pick Cheltenham to lose on the treble for the first time all season that we've done it,
Yeah.
considering their scoring record, happens to be the week where they do score and get a point and yeah, cost us the treble. So very annoyed and frustrating.
Hmm.
Um, we go into this week though with renewed optimism. I think there's a good treble here on the cards. It's a completely League Two based treble. It's better odds than last weekend as well, so that's always good. It's Crew to win at home to Tranmere. It's Swindon to win at home to Newport County, and Stockport to win away at Harrogate. So Swindon, Crewe, Stockport. The treble pays 6.48, so a £10 example stake returns £64.80.
I fancy it.
I do. I also think I'm just going to put on a longer acca here. of like Swindon, Crewe, Stockport, Doncaster, Wrexham, Salford, both teams to score. Everything that we've kind of read out in League Two, really. Just
Yeah,
stick it all in one big long acca just to see how it goes this weekend.
bloody love it.
Yeah,
Absolutely love it. Well, to be honest with you, Tom, I think we've done well to focus on the quality. In a tough docket this weekend, but yeah, I think we've managed to pull off some good tips, put together a good treble, and hopefully, if you're new, you've enjoyed the show. And then next week we'll come back and the rest of League One will be here, the Champ will be on, the Prem will be on, and we can
yeah.
give you guys a fuller version.
Yep. So for now, for this week, we'll leave it there. 21 minutes of bite sized League One, League Two action. We hope you have a very profitable weekend. Remember to follow us on social media if you have enjoyed the show at T_FB podcast and drop us a rating and review as well if you have enjoyed it too and perhaps you won a bit of money off it. So, yep, go well this weekend, guys, and we'll catch you again for a full pod next week.